Welcome to yet another episode of CrankIt from the Gearhead Bureau. Today we will be reviewing the Pulsar Naked Sport 200 2017 and we will be giving you a detailed review with specifications. Now let us move on to a detailed review of the bike by breaking it down to more conceivable parts. First of all, the bike has a pressed steel perimeter frame which gives it a strong and aggressive riding position. The ride height is quite tall and the bike is quite heavy, but Bajaj has beautifully managed it by placing an underbelly muffler along with a monoshock suspension with a gas can. This provides a fair amount of balance to the bike while cornering. Moving on to the front end of the bike, the triple tree-clip mounts of the handlebar are mounted directly over the forks, which give a very sporty and nimbleness to the ride. Moving on to the rear end of the bike, the seats are quite comfortable, but the ride becomes slightly uncomfortable if you have a pillion and you're going over a 100-kilometer ride. The ergonomics and the switches of the bike are very plush and the console buttons go very well with the console. As they say, the little things do matter, and so the rear fittings of the bike are quite stylish and appealing. Whereas the swing arm is a rectangular tube-like structure which definitely aids the structural stability and the rigidity for the frame. The overall looks of the bike are quite crisp and edgy even though there is a dual-tone color on the bike. The Pulsar 200 NS has a carburetor-powered liquid-cooled 200cc engine aided by a 6-speed gearbox. Bajaj made quite a bold move by switching out the twin-spark system with a triple-spark system. Bajaj claims that it increases the performance, but one could say it's not very significant. Weighing in at a mighty 152 kilograms, the NS200 stands at 805 millimeters in height, which might make it a little difficult for the shorter riders as it may cause a loss of balance. The ground clearance of the bike is quite ample at 167 millimeters and the tank is quite large at 12-litre capacity. The tyres on this bike come stock as the TVS Euro Grip, aptly named by the riders as Euro Slip as it performs horribly in wet weather and in corners. Since the bike is not equipped with ABS, the lack of good tyres might make it a little difficult for riders to enjoy the ride. Moving on to the performance aspects of the bike, the engine churns out an impressive 23.5 bhp of power at 9,500 rpm and around 18.3 Nm of torque at 8,000 rpm. The company claims that the top speed of the bike is 136 km per hour, which clearly places the NS200 among the top 200cc bikes in India. Although exceeding the top speed claimed by the company can be both possible and also dangerous. Bajaj had temporarily halted the production of the NS200 in 2015, but they re-released it in 2017 with a dual-tone color. Here are some of the differences between the 2015 Pulsar and 2017 Pulsar. Even though there are not many changes between the old and the new Pulsars, there are a few cosmetic changes. For example, there is an engine cowl on the new 2017 Pulsar NS200, whereas the old one lacks that part. The new 2017 Pulsar 200 NS comes with an all-time running headlight. The console for the two bikes are very similar, but the new Pulsar 200 has a blue backlight, whereas the old one has an orange-colored backlight. The Pulsar which came out in 2017 is called the Resurfaced series and it comes in a dual-tone color, whereas the old Pulsar comes in only a single tone. Although both the bikes have the same steel-pressed perimeter frame, the 2017 NS200 weighs a whopping 7 kilos heavier than the old one. The underbelly exhaust and the gas-fitted monoshock suspension of the bike makes handling very nimble in the corners because of a lower and centralized center of gravity position. So overall, although the bike is really heavy, it is beautifully managed. Although Bajaj released the new Pulsar after a really long and gruesome wait, they really disappointed us by not giving us the fuel-injected variant of the bike. Same engine, same tank and the same disappointing tires. So this was the 2017 Pulsar NS200 and its detailed specs and reviews. Stay tuned to the Gearhead Bureau for more exciting reviews. And kudos to Bajaj for ushering the modern biking technologies into India and never failing to impress us.